The new Honda HR-V is here, and it's a big step forward. It's sleeker, more advanced, and better built than before, and it's got the ingredients to be the family crossover of choice. But is it?
Now, the thing we like about Honda is the fact that they don't mess around with having gimmicky bits or being fancy here and there. They're simplifying things, as you can tell by the design. Clean, crisp lines. It's not shouting out about itself at all. I mean, granted, that hasn't always been the case. The Honda Civic Type R, for example, with all of its fins and wings and swoops and whoops, etc. But now, they're pulling it back a bit. I mean, it's not going to win awards at Pebble Beach, but it's easy on the eyes. Easy on the bank account too, which is nice. Hybrid completely from now on, which is lovely. I mean, they're promising strong efficiency and super quiet, serene electric driving. We'll see what it's like to drive in a minute. In the meantime, should we poke around the interior? Come on in. Buttons. Buttons, twiddly, lovely buttons, which I'm such a big fan of. I'm really pleased that Honda have stuck with this, because sometimes in new cars, they go for the voice activation stuff and it doesn't always work.
The name was not recognized. Please say a PO or category name.
No.
Also say a number from the displayed list.
No.
Please use manual controls to...
Oh my God. Yeah, so I really like the design of like the knurled twiddlies here. I think that looks really nice. But apart from that, I mean, let's be honest, it's a tad boring. There's like a two-tone vibe going on in here, but then with an added third tone, which I just don't understand. If you want to go two-tone, I get it. But what I don't get is why you would then add in a random third sort of dark coppery colour. If you're going to add a third one, have more of the third one, or just go for two. That's my one little annoyance. Screen is pretty decent. You've got 9-inch screen here, which has everything you need. It's nice and easy to use, nice and easy to touch as well, because it's all within touching distance. It's at a nice height when you're driving.
The system is standard on the HR-V and also includes Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Other standard equipment includes a reversing camera, heated seats, lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control. At just under £28,000, the HR-V isn't cheap, but it is loaded with useful kit as standard. But enough chat. It's time to put that hybrid system to work.
This is better, isn't it? Nice and quiet and serene and lovely in here. This is where the HR-V is at its absolute best. When you're driving it, when you're pootling, I love that word, when you're pootling around town. It's blooming gorgeous. If you need a car that you can just set aside all your troubles, pop around town, this is the one. It's quite lovely. I mean, we've got a 1.5 litre petrol engine under here, but that's not doing anything at the moment because it's a hybrid. So it's just in EV mode, which makes it super serene. I mean, it's dealing with the lumps and bumps in the road really nicely. It's not too bumpy in here at all. Steering's got a nice bit of weight to it. Feels quite accurate as well, actually. So sometimes it feels like you're driving something a little bit slicker, you know. But no, I'm having a whale of a time right now. I'm quite relaxed. Yeah, this is an in-town car for sure. I mean, this isn't exactly a super fast car. It's not like a rival to a Lamborghini Urus or something. I mean, this has 129 brake horsepower. I wish it had a little bit more, but it will do. The problem is when you leave town and you try to go a little bit faster. Okay, so I've just come to a stop on the track so that then I can put my foot down. But first of all, I need to explain this to you, because the moment you put your foot down is the moment everything goes a little bit south for the Honda HR-V. And that is because it has an eCVT gearbox, and also it runs on intelligent multi-mode drive. That's the system it has. So what it does is it selects the drive mode for what it thinks the car needs. This means that sometimes the HR-V will run in pure electric mode, or it can fire up the engine to top up the battery pack that powers the electric motors. At high speeds, the engine can drive the wheels directly. It's very clever stuff. But there is a bit of an issue. Sometimes it will go into EV mode, or sometimes the revs just flare up and everything gets incredibly noisy. When it's in EV mode, everything's nice and relaxing. but it's not relaxing when you try to overtake or when you try to join an A road. Listen to this. Loud. That is loud. I've had this car a few days now, and I'll be honest, it's bugging me a bit. I thought I'd be one of those people that kind of goes, oh no, it's fine, it's not going to bother me at all. But it's bothering me. Oh, it's horrible. That is so loud. The thing is then once you're at speed, so say you've got on the motorway, you're hitting 70 mile an hour, then everything calms down. And everything goes to a reasonable sound. It's just getting there that just makes you do that face. And overtaking. You try and overtake someone, it's just embarrassing. You go, oh, I'm going to overtake you. And then the engine flares up. And you go, no, I'm sorry. To be honest, if you just use a gentle right foot like most owners will do day to day, the HRV is still a relaxing, refined machine. But it would be nice if it was a bit less noisy and more effortless when you do need a bit of performance. However, if you're buying an HRV, it's not just about you, it's probably going to be about your kids as well. Now obviously this is a family car, but I don't have children, but what I do have is Greg the cameraman. So what we've decided to do is pretend he is a part child, or like a bearded child. We've sat him on the back seats, but as you can see from his face, he's having a lovely time back there. He's got plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom, and he looks incredibly comfortable. You comfortable back there, Greg? So comfy.
Oh, and those rear seats are also magic. I'm not joking. That's what Honda calls them. You can fold them upwards like this to store large items in the second row, which is actually really useful. Nice work, Honda.
I want to show you the boot, which is slightly disappointing because it's a bit smaller than the original HRV. And that's because you've got the hybrid now, so they've put the batteries underneath the boot floor. But there is a small little space here under the boot floor, which is where we've put our muddy boots. So if you're taking the dogs for a walk or something, it's a nice little space to put your muddy boots. Apart from that, it's fine. I mean, it's nothing to shout home about, but it'll do, I guess.
But look, you might not be bothered about having a slightly smaller boot, and it could be worth it. Around 50 miles per gallon is possible in the real world, which ain't bad for a crossover. And you know what? The HRV as a whole ain't bad either. We really quite like it, and so does Greg the cameraman, I think.